Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2017 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers. As you can see from my background, yes, I am still in Poland, still in Eastern Europe, although I should be returning to the States by the middle of September. But as those who follow me regularly know, I do travel quite a bit and I work from wherever I travel thanks to the internet. So thank you for all your continued likes, shares, subscribes, all your support, feedback, and comments. Keep them coming. You guys are brilliant. Thank you to those of you who continue to keep me busy in reaching out for one-on-one readings, no matter where I am, and to my regular clients always for continuing to allow me to be part of the unfolding chapters of your life. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button for a little more information. It also has my email address. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do a wide variety of readings, love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, year overviews, career overviews, channeled messages from past on loved ones, and monthly and bi-weekly readings for those of you who are interested in ongoing package deals as well. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So current turnaround time for live or recorded readings, we can almost always get you a scheduled reading within a 1 to 2 week period. And I can usually get back with you within the same day or within 1 day of your initial contact. So again, if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well, because if this is your primary sun sign video that you're watching, I mean, there's so many of you watching, and everybody has different things going on in your lives because you're all unique, wonderfully individuals. And so, of course, it's not going to mean the same thing to everybody watching to the same degree and intensity in the same area of your life. So that's why we suggest you check your rising and your moon sign videos if you know them and if you can, because they may play out a little more predictably for you for this time period than your primary sun sign. And watching all three can potentially just give you additional insight and clarity into what's going on in your life. So try to do that if you can. We are looking at the month of September 2017, the whole month, even though I am recording these at the last week of August. So I'll be pulling 2 cards for each week, time being somewhat fluid, as I always say, with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck representing overall guidance and advice. So this reading is for Gemini, the air sign of Gemini, for September 2017. Gemini the twins. Let's see what's going on with you for September. The first card that came out is the King of Swords. You came out first, along with the 8 of Pentacles, working hard. Next to that, we have the 7 of Swords with the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords with the 5 of Cups. We have the King of Cups with Temperance, and overall energy and guidance is the Hermit. So it looks like some of you may be having some issues with somebody may have taken something from you. On an energetic level, you may be feeling exploited, taken advantage of, or drained in some way. But it looks like you're being asked to stay grounded and moving forward, being very action-oriented and moving forward in new beginnings, whether that's starting over or reconstructing something that's already in place, is going to be really helpful to you, and drawing on your own kind of life experience and wisdom. So that pretty much sums it up. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I'm not kidding about the cards. That's what came out. But that kind of sums it all up. But we're going to go through the cards anyway. Let me turn my music down here just a bit. So we begin, Gemini, with you, with the King of Swords, followed by the 8 of Pentacles. So the King of Swords would reflect an air sign individual, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, such as yourself. It's showing up as a king, but since this is a general reading, we can't be too gender specific. And even with gender specificity, sometimes if this was a reading that I was doing for a female, the King of Swords might just represent a more masculine aspect of her coming out in relation to whatever subject the reading is addressing. So it's not always so specific when it comes to gender. But this could be male or female, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Libra. I think for the majority of you, you're just kind of being your own self, manifesting the own character traits which are inherent for your sign. For some of you, though, this could represent another air sign individual, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, who's playing a central role. We do have another individual showing up, another king showing up here, which I feel is a separate individual from yourself. So for a lot of you, the King of Swords is going to manifest just as you. Now, the King of Swords is paired with the Eight of Pentacles. Here we have earth energy, and the energy of this suit of Pentacles usually reflects in the earthly arena of our life, the tangible, concrete, day-to-day world we live in, things we can see and touch and feel, usually money, finance, property, resources, asset, job, etc. And I do call the Eight of Pentacles, I've nicknamed this my worker bee card because that's what it does represent, work. Some of you may be working a lot, maybe working overtime. It can represent that, a lot of work, getting up early, staying up late. It can represent repetitive work, just over and over again. It can represent that you're a little tired of it. But it does overall represent the slow, steady, but quite successful working to build up a good, solid, stable foundation for yourself. Tens representing culmination or fulfillment energy. We're at the 8 here. He has worked very hard to build up already a good, stable foundation for himself, regardless of whether this might be in the actual job in your life, a career path, a project of some kind. You can also translate the same energy into the relationship and spiritual area of your life as well. Although for the majority of you, I feel like it has something to do with those tangible, concrete things, job, career, financial matters, etc. So it looks like you've just been working hard, investing in something. Some of you, this may be actually, you may actually be investing in something and monetarily backing something. I'm getting actually too. You're being asked to back something, or you're investing in something. There's some kind of central focus around financial investment. You may even property too. I'm getting investing in property. Now moving along, we have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Five of Pentacles. So swords is air energy, mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. Represents what goes on up in here, how we look at things, our belief systems, and how that affects our communication. Also truth, insight, education, and learning. The Seven of Swords is often nicknamed the thief card, even though it doesn't necessarily represent that. It can represent tangible theft, like money, property, finances. It can represent on an energetic or emotional level being taken advantage of, or giving and giving and giving in a situation where you're not receiving back in any kind of an equal measure, so you're left feeling exploited, depleted, drained, taken advantage of. Sometimes it can represent using unorthodox methods or being undercover to get something accomplished, or needing to be secretive or play your cards close to your chest, not tell anybody about your plans. Although in this instance, I'm not really feeling that at all, because it is paired with the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of insufficiency and lack. It can represent financial insufficiency and lack, material insufficiency and lack, or the fear thereof, not having enough money to pay all your bills. It can represent sometimes poverty, or perhaps you're being downsized, or they're cutting your hours, or there just isn't enough money. On an emotional, energetic level, it can represent feeling abandoned, rejected, or kind of blacklisted, blackballed, kind of pushed out of a crowd, not belonging to something, maybe a larger group. Insufficiency and lack regarding of how it manifests in your life. This is going to manifest different ways depending on who's watching, but the energy, as I always say, fundamentally remains the same regardless of how it resonates in your life, or what area it resonates in your life. So with the combination of the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, some of you, this may be actual theft or swindling of some kind, particularly if you've been asked to invest in something, or you have invested in something. You may find out by the second week or the middle of September that everything was not as it was meant to be, because the energy of the Seven of Swords too is fundamentally of deception, or things being different than how they're presented to be, whether it's a person or a situation or both. Something being presented to be one thing and it actually turning out to be something else. Some of you may be finding finding out that something you've invested in or have been asked to invest in is not really above board, or that you've been taken advantage of in some way. And forewarned is forearmed, knowing this ahead of time. If you've been asked to invest in something or be a part of something in some way with money, finances, or resources, be very, very careful to check out all the fine details and, all the little print, and make sure that everything is as it seems, because it looks like there's a potential for you to be left feeling taken advantage of in some way, whether that's in actual dollars and cents or just your time and resources. On an emotional level, in a relationship arena, this could represent being taken advantage of emotionally and financially too for some of you. Some of you, this could represent in regards to a work situation or your work environment. You could be being taken advantage of, exploited there. You could be maybe being rejected, or maybe be in a situation where you feel you're being shut out from a group at work in some way as well. So just be kind of vigilant about feeding into too much of that energy, or if there's a way that you can see, if you already know what the situation is, there may be a way for you to kind of move through this or lessen it somehow, which is why we do these readings, to get kind of a heads up about things coming. Sometimes we can negate it completely, sometimes just lessen it, or sometimes just prepare for it. So next to that, we have the Ace of Wands, followed by the Five of Cups. So it looks like a lot of you, in some way or another, in one area or another, to some degree, are probably going to be feeling like you have been taken from in some way, unless you're able to kind of negate or prevent this altogether. Because the Five of Cups represents focusing on what you no longer have, or what you've lost, or what's been taken away from you, but too much so, too extreme. There's a time to kind of, honor grief and all of that, but there's also comes a time when looking at it too much prevents us from also being grateful for what's still in our environment or our lives, or missing opportunities which may come along because we're only focused on the negative of what's going on, which is what this man is doing. All of his attention and focus is on these three goblets, which are tipped over and spilled out next to him. And these goblets are symbolic. They're representative of loss, grief, even something that he's lost or has been taken away from him, whether by somebody else or perhaps by poor decisions or ignorance. But right behind him are these two goblets, still upright, still full, because it's the Five of Cups, not the Three of Cups. And they represent things in his life which are still there, which are still beautiful, still that he can take advantage of or be grateful for. And they can also represent opportunities which are in his life currently, or her life, or which may be coming along very soon, which again, you might miss because of the focus only on what you've lost or what's been taken away from you. For some of you, this could be like a promotion that you didn't get, or being passed over for something else, or something being given to somebody else. Again, I feel like for a lot of you, it's in connection with the earth energy part of your life. Job, career path, project, financial issues of some kind too. You may have applied for something and been turned down for it. And it's something that you've been working for quite some time, or it could be something that you've been putting your money into for quite some time, and it's just turned out, again, that you were taken advantage of in some way. Now, crowning the Five of Cups is the Ace of Wands, which is a beautiful energy and advice on how to move through this. The Ace of Wands is fire energy. It's very fiery, dynamic, fluid, action-oriented energy. The Suit of Wands it's all about change, movement, power, creation, manifesting, building. Aces represent the number one, promise, potential. I always liken them to seeds, which contain an entire world in seeds, but they have to be planted in the right kind of soil at the right time and nurtured and taken care of so that they can grow and manifest to their full potential and eventually end up giving back to us. Otherwise, they can fizzle out as ideas we never act on, or things which we start what we never finish, so it never really turns into anything. So this represents a new beginning, which has a lot of potential to grow and build. This is very creative, action-oriented, and fluid energy, which means that it requires action. So it's about starting over, starting a new beginning, going in a new direction, and being very action-oriented and assertive, almost aggressive about this, and moving forward and building something new. And it's crowning, it's over the Five of Cups, which is going to help alleviate, if not completely negate, this feeling like you were taken advantage of or left behind even in some way. So moving forward, and movement is always the best best cure for depression and inertia, because even in the situations where we feel the least like moving, we're kind of stuck in the misery or focusing on something difficult or challenging. Movement, moving forward, creating and building something new, even though it may feel like the last thing we want to do, is exactly the thing that's going to get us out of what we're feeling. So that's what you're being asked to do here, Gemini. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we have the King of Cups, followed by Temperance. So the King of Cups, some of you, this is going to represent a water sign person in your life, male or female, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or somebody who strongly manifests the character traits of the King of Cups. And this would be in a positive, helpful role for you. And they're showing up as, fairly mature, responsible persons because they've reached. Kings and queens represent individuals who have reached the maturity of their suit, the full achievement of their suit. So all of the characteristics which are inherent to the element of their suit, this is water, they've reached kind of a certain maturity level with them. For some of you, this is going to represent another person who's playing a significant positive role in your life, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. For some of you, you're being asked to manifest the character traits also of the King of Cups. The King of Cups is sometimes nicknamed the King of Cool as well, because he's able to keep his head when everybody else around him is or her is losing theirs. In chaotic situations, he's always emotionally stable and grounded. Cups is water energy, so the energy of this suit is reflected in the watery area of our life that deals with emotions, feelings, relationships. But he's reached the full achievement of his suit. So this is somebody who's very emotionally connected, emotionally grounded and stable. He's able to remain grounded and stable even in a challenging or difficult situation, which looks like some of you may be going through in the month of September, or trying to work your way through that's already happened. Some of you, this is going to be somebody who's manifesting these character traits, who's being an emotionally stable and positive and helpful influence in your life. They may be part of helping you move forward into this action-oriented new beginning, because they are right next to the Ace of Wands as well. And again, some of you may be being asked to manifest the character traits of the King of Cups, which is emotional stability, not kind of getting, going off the deep end emotionally because of whatever the situation is, that this has left you feeling exploited, taken advantage of, or shut out somehow, or left behind, or passed over for something. Stay emotionally grounded and don't stop moving. Keep moving forward, but move forward in a new direction. Create, build, manifest. Continue on with whatever your goals or your dreams are, and stay grounded with that King of Cups. To underscore that message doubly with its accompanying card, which is the Major Arcana card of Temperance, which is all about balance as well. It's about finding your center and staying grounded in that, and being absolutely unshakable and unflappable in that, which when we find our center, find our grounded, we know what we know. There's no compromising or negotiating. That's how we manage to stay grounded and keep our balance. My analogy of the Temperance card is being at the middle of a seesaw or a teeter-totter. When you're at the center, when you're grounded, even when the outside edges go up and down, you might wobble, but you rarely ever lose your balance and fall off. That's kind of what this represents. When you're not grounded, when you're at opposite ends, you're at the mercy kind of anything external, people, places, situations, emotions, etc. This is about holding opposite extremes in perfect balance and perfect unison. Again, being centered and grounded. And this is what's going to help you. And this and moving forward in a positive, assertive, creating, manifesting kind of energy. It's what's going to help you move through any difficult situations you may be occurring in September, particularly in the first half of the month, I feel. Overall energy and guidance is the Major Arcana card of the Hermit. This is about, sometimes it can be about isolating a bit, withdrawing a bit. You may want to spend more time kind of thinking this through, being in contemplation and staying grounded while you're doing that, which the hermit would be, because that's what hermits do. Hermits, monks, monastics, they withdraw from the distractions of the external life in order to seek clarity, insight, find an answer, wisdom. It's also about using the accumulation of your life's experience and wisdom to help guide you through a situation or find a way, a path through, or a solution, which is what this man is doing. He's using the light of this lantern, which is symbolic for all the years of his experience, to guide his way through this narrow precipice. So draw on your own intuition, your own life's experience to date as well, and maybe spend some time thinking things through about whatever area of your life this challenge is manifesting in. And just remember to focus on staying emotionally grounded and keep moving forward, Gemini. So Gemini, that pretty much wraps up your September 2017 reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, that you found it helpful even in some small way. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button, and feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September 2017 mid-month readings. And until then, Gemini, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.